Third rate renegades.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 2 of the C2E2 trilogy that we have for you. So much that we did at C2E2, we had to split it up into 3 episodes, so this is number 2 of 3.
Yeah, maybe 4 if we.
Maybe.
Who knows? We got a lot of stuff.
It's so weird. I gotta turn this light back on because I still haven't changed the light bulb in my office yet. It's surreal seeing you on a computer screen after we've spent so much time together the other week.
Yeah, we're far apart again.
It's like I just want to be there. I just want to hold you.
Good news is
Safe.
C2E2's in March.
Oh, really?
Next time, yes.
Oh, we are set for that one, buddy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. You know why that's going to be good? Is then I won't have to miss my kids' spring break either. I can be spring break with the kids, C2E2 in March. Fuck yeah.
Be a little colder, though.
Hey.
Better bring a coat.
Come on, we stood out there watching girls, and this is completely 100% factual, everybody. I'm not being crude or anything. There were girls, we would be outside smoking, and it would be like freezing and snowing, and they would still be out there in like the miniest of mini skirts, no jacket going to the club, alright?
It was weird because it would be like, it was like really late. It was the one night when we got back. I think right when we got back from Lloyd.
Yeah.
That was when a lot of them were leaving. They were heading out for the night. I was like, man, it was freezing cold.
That was like after 11 because we caught the last bus goes at 10, and then of course getting through Chicago. It was like 11 before we got back there, and yeah, they were like.
Well, yeah, there was an accident too. There was like some kind of accident that held up the shuttle for a while.
I don't know what club they were going to. It's probably in my younger days, probably a club I would be like, yeah, let's go. My older days is like, no, my feet hurt. Let's go up and lay down. Let's go watch some Bill Ding. Troy Young, hey, big boy.
Oh man, he put that one the other day was really good. The solo one he did.
Oh yeah, with the 20-minute like bus chase through the city and through the highway. I have no brakes.
Yeah, they tried to say it had no brakes.
So this episode is going to be really fun, I think, for everyone listening. It was fun for us. We've got 3 interviews on this one, and then you're going to get more interviews next week in next week's episode. But this one, we're putting this one out. We were talking about which interviews we want to go out first. This one is This one is right time because this. If you're listening to this on Wednesday, that means Action Comics 1000 has hit.
And we've read it, which you'll hear later.
1,000 issues. Is this now? If I'm not mistaken, Action is the first comic to hit 1,000 issues. As far as like a mainstream comic book hitting 1,000 issues.
I can't think of any other ones. I mean, there may have been some that have maybe. I don't know if they've gotten there, but have been renumbered so many times you don't know. So I don't know.
Yeah, like Spider-Man's in what, like the 900s, 800s, something like that. Thor's only in like 700s. Fantastic Four, if they were going, are pretty up there. If you had Fantastic Four, but yeah, if you're talking about even with renumberings, I mean, Action Comics has more than 1,000 issues if you're actually talking renumberings. If you add in all those renumberings.
Well, annuals don't count either in special issues and shit like that.
Yeah.
But I just got at the con number 254.
Yeah.
And now we're at 1,000.
1,000.
Fucking how many issues between? That's a lot of issues.
That's a fuck ton of issues. And we had the honor to sit down with Pat Gleason, who's been doing the art on Action Comics for this current run. and who has him and Tomasi.
I was on Superman.
Yeah, they're okay, they were doing Superman. My bad. But they have a story in this. Scott Snyder has a story in it. Dan Jurgens.
Oh yeah. And in Action 1000, they do a story in there.
Yeah, there's so many people in 1000, including the debut of Brian Michael Bendis, which a little bit of a format change. If you are listening to this, a little bit of a format change because of everything we got at the con. And because of the contacts we made at the convention with many different publishers, we're now going to be getting a lot more review copies of books to review.
Yeah.
So we are actually adding a second show to the week, Renegade Reviews. I think that's the name I'm going to go with on that. Renegade Reviews, and that's solely going to be the comic book reviews for the week.
Yeah.
That way, it's a little easier on us because we can put these reviews out. We can take our time with them. We don't have to keep looking at a clock going, how long is this episode? How long is this episode? Give us a little more time to actually talk the books, which is what we love to do.
Like, basically, we just have, like 10 or 15 minutes at the end of this to say, like, whether we liked it or not. We don't dig into it, like, as hardcore as we could with a whole other show. Plus, we've got other publishers hopefully going to be letting us review their stuff pretty soon.
We got Boom, and I'm making some contacts. I still got to email a few, but we're going to be getting a lot more books and be able to actually talk some books that we've read over the week that we thought that even if they're not new books, we can also talk about those. It just gives us a little more talking time for comics.
Yeah, when are we going to start doing it? Because they haven't started rolling in yet. So we're going to review them DC until we get our other stuff coming in.
Start reviewing it, but that'll start this Thursday. Renegade Reviews, same everything. It'll be on the Podbean. It'll be on the everything. The only places it probably won't be will be the iHeartRadio for now, and the It'll be on Podbean. That'll be Podbean, and our YouTube will be the main places
for sure.
those two.
For sure. We don't know about the other ones. Like Filling the Void and all that. We don't know how many shows they actually want from us.
Right.
We're giving doubling up shows every week on them. Here, let's put this out too.
Right, but the review shows will be on Podbean, Stitcher, Player FM, and Google Play and iTunes. The review shows will be on those platforms. While the main show will still be across everything. It's just gonna allow Chief and I to do what we love best, and that's talk comics.
Yes, and more titles and different publishers and stuff will be even cooler. It'll be a show into itself.
Exactly. But getting back to the topic at hand, Action 1000, when we were at C2E2, we had the pleasure to sit down with Pat Gleason, artist on Superman, who has a story with Peter Tomasi in Action 1000. Chief had some really great questions about things that have been going on lately.
Yeah. The only thing is I totally forgot that those guys didn't do the 2-issue arc that was a few back where they went to the other planet and tried to save another planet. I was off on that for a second, but other than that, he's a really cool guy. That was my fuck up.
But he answered your questions and told you what he thought about that storyline.
It went into an interesting direction about Superman's religion and all that stuff too. So it was actually a good thing to kind of broach the topic, we should say. And but it was kind of cool to. He's a really cool guy, and he gave a lot of his time and more than we actually thought, because there was the interview after us was late, so we got a little extra time with Pat Gleason. But he's a really cool guy, and he had a lot of good things to say about Superman.
So, let's go to the con floor on day 1 of C2E2 when we were able to talk to Pat Gleason.
Yep.
I'll try and go.
That's fine. We're here with Pat Gleason, currently writing Superman.
Yep.
What's been going on in Superman? My co-host knows, but you tell everybody else what's going on in Superman.
What's going on in Superman is everything is backwards because we're dealing with Bizarro verse and introducing new characters like Boy Zorro, Rob Zorro, and all kinds of weird, wacky hijinks.
Now, and that's basically since Rebirth. That would mean the Bizarro world is now back in in play.
Yes.
And that's a different Bizarro than what's being currently in like Red Hood and the Outlaws, because they have like a clone Bizarro.
Right. Yeah, this is a totally different Bizarro. We kind of wanted to deal with the different feeling Bizarro. You know, someone who could basically be a villain again. And so yeah, this is the multiverse side of Bizarro with the Bizarro world. I can't pronounce how you say it backwards. Hatra or whatever. It's really. You guys think it's hard to read Bizarro speak? Try writing. It's infuriating.
Reading it was kind of.
Well, the thing I'll say about reading it is if this is your first comic book, don't read this. Don't read the Bizarro speak, because you'll never want to read a comic again. It's supposed to be difficult to read. It's supposed to be kind of give you a headache, because that's what Bizarros do to Superman and John. So maybe we took it a little too far. I did tone it down a little bit by the end, because after a while you're just like, okay,
Well, I thought it was cool because the characters, even Jonathan Kent is confused. Like the characters themselves are confused talking to the Bizarros, and it kind of translates to the reader. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing to do, actually.
Right? Yeah, we didn't want to do something where Superman is always all-knowing. He understands this. He understands that Bizarros are hard to talk to, and that's what John is learning basically through all this. And there are moments where the reverse speak is kind of poignant and heartfelt, I think, and hopefully if you're not too hung up on it, it'll come across and you'll get the meaning behind it. But
one of the things I wanted to ask you too is one of the things I really like about one of the things I really like about the Rebirth Superman is his relationship with Jonathan Kent and him learning to be a father and taking examples from his own childhood from the older Jonathan Kent, teaching him, and it's not necessarily always translating from a Kansas farmer to tell a superpowered boy, try to teach these lessons, and he's doing his best. But what do you draw inspiration from your own life for the lessons he's trying to teach Jonathan?
Sure.
Or from things you've been taught by your father? Or
yeah, actually it is. I mean, it really is a father-son book. And yeah, I think I was raised in the Midwest. I grew up in Kansas and Missouri and Iowa and Wyoming. I moved all around. Pete and I actually joke that he's Batman and I'm Superman because we approach things that way. And yeah, I have a family and a son, and the way I was raised definitely comes into play. And actually, the Kent's farmhouse is modeled directly off of my great-grandparents' farmhouse. So like I have pictures of their house that I've been using for that. And we just wanted to do a father-son story because it kind of spun out of the Pa Kent and Clark Kent feel. I'm being distracted here. Like, Vince, get out of here. I'm trying to be professional here. Now, we wanted to do that, the Pa Kent in Smallville, but we didn't want to be in Smallville. We wanted to make our own place where John could grow and have his own Smallville, which is Hamilton. I feel like in a lot of ways we got some pushback, and by we I mean me, from Pete directly probably, which was it was so corny and almost too idyllic in some ways. But I feel like that's what people kind of want to see. That's Superman.
Yeah, I kind of feel that's Superman. That fits. I've loved you guys' run on it, so it's wonderful. And I also love the juxtaposition. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
The juxtaposition, the way Bruce is raising Damian, and when they come into contact with each other. And I just think it's great how you guys you show that corniness of Superman, that Kansas compared to Bruce's Gotham hardcore. You're going to do this,
right? It's a culture thing too, because it's the way I grew up, which is you say yes sir and yes ma'am, and you don't talk back to your parents, which is the opposite of Damien, and so it's kind of hard, writing, because you kind of, comics, thrive off of drama and conflict, so it's actually harder to write them getting along sometimes and not pushing back, but really at the core, what I said coming on a Superman with Pete, when I came on to write with him, I said what we should do is the conflict shouldn't be within this family. This family should be stable and sturdy, and I'm thinking back to like growing up watching, like Nick at Night, watching, Andy Griffith and, Little House on the Prairie.
There's a little bit of that in it. You can
yeah.
see the Andy Opie.
That's exactly it. It's Andy and Opie with them. And